A statement by the Commission for Gender Equality on mandatory vaccinations is flawed and irresponsible, and that's according to the South African Society of Obstetricians and Gynaecologists. The CGE quoted Sasog in stating vaccines may cause a small change to women's menstrual cycle length and urging businesses not to force mandatory vaccination. But Sasog has fired back, saying the study that was being referenced shows no clinically meaningful change in the menstrual cycle length after vaccination. The Society's Professor Hennie Botha joins me now for the conversation. Prof, thank you for your time. And I think for clarity, you will obviously correct that the study wasn't conducted by yourselves, but you are critical of how the Commission for Gender Equality read and interpreted that study to take and come to its position against mandatory vaccines.
Exactly. I think what we need to say is that the evidence provided by the study is actually quite reassuring. The investigators looked at about 3,500 women after some of them got the COVID-19 vaccine and others did not, and then measured their self-reported length of menstrual cycle over a period of 6 months. And during the study, they found a very small, less than a day difference in the length of the menstrual cycle, which is, in our opinion, not clinically meaningful. And the number of days of bleeding was not different between the two groups. What is interesting in the original study is that the majority of the participants that made the change had 2 doses of the vaccine in 1 month. And they produced a slight increase in the cycle length. And if we take that group out of the study, the results are not significant. So basically what I'm trying to say is this study reassures us that the vaccine, the COVID vaccine is safe and it does not affect menstrual cycle or the normal reproductive physiology of women in any meaningful way. The Commission linked this study to an important consideration, which is fertility of women. And we need to acknowledge the fact that people are often concerned about side effects of vaccines. But this study actually reassures people that the COVID vaccine is safe.
So, Prof, you juxtapose that, what the Commission focused on, what you are saying that it's statistically, it's worth considering statistically, but clinically it doesn't really mean that there are problems with the vaccine that affect women's menstrual cycles. You juxtapose that with the benefits of vaccination in that you say, actually, this could add, the statement by the Gender Commission could add to vaccine hesitancy among a population that actually do need to be vaccinated.
Exactly. We know that pregnant women as a group has a very high risk for hospital admission due to COVID-19, and also they have a much higher risk of ventilation and even death. In my own hospital, COVID-19 was the #1 cause of maternal deaths in the year 2020 to 2021. And if we can do anything to reduce that risk to pregnant women, we must certainly support that in trying to protect women against COVID-19. This evidence was interpreted, in my opinion, incorrectly by the Commission, and I find it quite sad that the Commission uses this paper to increase anti-vax sentiments. In our endeavours to increase health for women in South Africa, we must do everything in our power to protect them against the harmful effects of the pandemic. I want to encourage all women considering a pregnancy to get the COVID vaccine.
All right, Prof, thank you. I've got to thank you for your time. I must say, I also did, not being an expert like you, I did ask myself if the Commission was getting ahead of itself in light of that study. So it will be interesting to see that conversation evolving in the days to come. That's Professor Hennie Botha there. He's from the South African Society of Obstetricians and Gynaecologists. I'm back with more for you at the top of the hour.